Jay Massey is a full-time real estate investor. He's an entrepreneur.
He also teaches people how to find deals, raise capital for real estate investments.
Meeting Jay Massey in person, you'd think he's just a regular guy. He's got jeans and a t-shirt on and a pair of sneakers. But he's built up a multi-million-dollar empire.
I hope you do have an empty notebook because it's going home filled.
Jay gives back so much value that I've never seen.
Now, at this moment, when I'm looking at the kitchen, things are going through my head.
You want to be friends with him, and he treats you like you're the only person in the room, even though it's for the benefit of everybody.
This is how, when you ask yourself, how does Jay do it? This is how.
He tells people that they have to take action, and they have to take action now. I took the action, and the results have paid off.
What happens when the marketplace understands who we are and how we go out there?
Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? Hopefully things are going well. Today is a Monday, right? But at the same time, it's also the last day of August. So for those of you who are brand new, today is day one for you. Go ahead and type new in the chat. I want to definitely welcome you and say hello. For those of you who this is not your first day, it is definitely, though, the last day that we are doing our LEDA live every day in August, where we have gone live here at CashFlowDiary every day to share the insight, the wisdom, the things that it takes to go out there and build cash flow, and most importantly, put you in a better position so that you can indeed change something about your life so that long term you're living closer to your values. That's tends to be what we care about around here. And hopefully you care about that too. And hopefully you've been able to learn something, because if you've been able to learn something, then over time, we think you'll be able to earn something as well. Nonetheless, other than typing new in the chat, I definitely want to say that I have been grateful for those of you who continually have shown up. Like some of you, we noticed who has been here all the time. It's amazing, which I guess means that in some way, shape, or form, we did say something, share something that assisted you, and it's a privilege to do so. So I don't want today to somehow suddenly be different in terms of have we shared something with you. So I want to do my best to cram a whole bunch of thoughts into what is this last episode, so to speak, of LEDA. Now, with that being said, it's not like the last time we're going live. However, you may have heard me mention, or at least drop hints more than once, that being on the YouTube channel would be a strong advantage. Well, that's the truth. Being on the YouTube channel would be a strong advantage because the YouTube channel is likely where we will be, well, it is where we'll be focusing a significant amount of our ongoing efforts. And as well as occasionally we will also be on, there's a Facebook page that we have, obviously, that says it's just the CashFlowDiary one. So for those of you who want to continue to receive updates and notices, if you are specifically not on the Facebook page and or on the YouTube channel, then just know it's not that we've forgotten about you. It's just that it takes a lot of energy to be in all the places and trying to organize. So we're going to just focus on those two areas. Now, April, who knows? We'll probably be back everywhere and it'll be easy for you to find us. Yay. That'll be awesome. In the meantime, though, we want to handle the rest of this particular session, which means for those of you who are new, what you see me doing right now is we have two decks of cards, right? There's a deck of cards. One is red and the other is green, which means anytime someone types the word cash flow in the chat, whether they're on Facebook or YouTube, what we do is, well, we answer one of these strange questions. They are indeed the strange questions. So if there's something that you are eager to hear or to know that is completely off the wall, this is kind of that version of those questions, so that you can, who knows what we might learn, because there have been some interesting questions. So I keep the stack separated so we don't repeat any as well. But today, I definitely want to talk about what's next, like what's next for you in various different ways. And if you will, I'm going to welcome all the new people here in just a moment. But if you will, understand that I am a father of 4 children, and they all are making their journey in life in various different ways, which means from time to time, I will use them as an example, because there are certain things that they will do from day to day. They're great. And today is going to be one of those days. So for those of you who might like, oh my God, Dad's talking about his kids again. I hear you. But it's definitely going to happen today, because I think it makes sense. So now, as I continue, let me go back to the back. We've got Chris. Welcome. Good morning from Cali. Yep, that is where I am too. I'm in Southern California, so this is good. And then it looks like there's a Tim who's also has joined us as well. That's awesome. And then yes, Jeremy has got it 100%. Definitely this is the last day. If you are new, please by all means go ahead and type new. Tim, there it is. And what's that? Another cool. Yes, exactly. The concept of yet, it's a very powerful one that I don't honestly think we use enough, right? We expect ourselves to be at a certain level, but we don't give ourselves time to grow to that level. And that's part of the content and story for today. That's why I'm saying it. So it's all good. Tim, I see you. There you are. Welcome. He's new. Glad that you are here. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Oh, since you're over there on YouTube. Let's see. And there's Robert. That's awesome. Lorraine, what is going on? Very excited for you, Lorraine. I will definitely see you at the 10 o'clock session here in just a few moments. And then who's this? Irene Johnson Myers. Welcome. Good morning. Sorry, when you just so you know, with GM in my head, the way that I think, I was actually thinking about the company and the stock symbol because anyway, just know that. But I think you mean good morning. So thanks. Hello. Welcome. Glad that you are here as well. And you are out there in South Carolina. Excellent on the East Coast time. I love it. Is that Cali? Yes. Cali or Cali. Oh, good point, Mary. I assumed she meant California, but hey, you never know. You never know. Bernadette, welcome. Thank you. Glad that you are here as well. What is this? We're getting exposed today. Yes, I love it. Yes, that is exactly right. For those of you wondering, that's my oldest daughter. That's why it's funny because she knows she's had the privilege of growing up and being the example in times where she didn't necessarily want to be, or because, dads never ask permission. Why would they? We don't have to, right? We're allowed to embarrass our daughters anytime we want to. That's the goal, right? I think so. Anyway, so yes, exposure is happening today. You got it. So that's just how that is going down. Anyway, all right. So let's talk about what's coming next, right? And also, I think I have a question from a Janine and a Lisa Waiters. I believe I'm saying that correctly. So Janine and Lisa, if you are out there, just know that I do have your questions. We will get those also answered momentarily as well. All right. So what was I talking about, or what have I been thinking and talking about? It's very, I think it's simple. It's part of actually why we're even live right now. Because around this time last year, 2019, I was considering and just asking myself, hey, have you given all you can? Have you done your best? Have you left it all on the court? Are you like topped out, so to speak? And the answer I came back with was no, I haven't done everything I could do. I haven't contributed as much as I possibly can. I haven't pushed myself to that quote unquote limit. And no one else was going to challenge that part. No one else was going to say that. No one else would say that to me. Hey, so it had to come from me, which is one of the things that I submit to you is just simply the question. And part of the reason I chose this shirt today is, have you actually given your best? And if not, just add the word yet. Are you the best version of you yet? Are you now remember, the transformation process is when you're starting as a business owner, you start as the chief everything officer, CEO, but you become the chief executive officer. Still CEO, same title, same letters anyway. But what you're doing changes because at the beginning, it could feel like everything. And that's fine. That's also appropriate. But over time, you become the CEO, executive officer, the chief executive officer. That is a process. So are you a CEO yet? Right. And those things, and you could be a CEO in title, by the way, but not actually be a CEO. That's a whole nother story, another day. That leads me to all kinds of things, all kinds of questions that we could be asking ourselves to making sure that our businesses are moving, that our cash flow is growing, because I'm hoping that part of the reason that you're here, part of the reason that we have connected, part of the reason that you have continually showed up this entire month is because you find yourself growing and considering new ideas, looking at new things, seeing things in a different way, but most importantly, asking for more out of life, aka yourself as well, because you must first contribute That's really what it comes down to. You must first make those deposits. We must first plant those seeds. And once you plant those seeds, then you have to learn how to water, till the soil, etc., make it grow. Now, although I'm not a farmer, we have helped a lot of people grow. And that's like the exciting part. And oftentimes growing means changing the way, modifying the way, or even just re-examining the way that you have currently perceived things and everything. I've said this earlier this month, but I'll say it again in case you're new. You and I, we will not out-earn our personal growth. On the journey to becoming more, you will encounter significant resistance. Sometimes a lot of it your own doing or from yourself. And that's also part of the process. Increasing not only your intelligence, but the emotional intelligence, interpersonal intelligence, and intrapersonal intelligences is a part of the journey. Once you've understood those things, or as you understand those things, what happens is that your business changes. Probably the number one thing that I would say if we're considering, hey, what's next, is not to think that there is a destination and endpoint. There is constant and never-ending improvement. There's always more, and there's always change, which is one of the reasons why I love the fact that technology today just allows it to make it easy for live streams like this to happen. I get to do this from, well, technically anywhere, but I'm at home right now. And when things change, especially from a business standpoint, like have last week with the way the Federal Reserve is what they're, the things that they're doing is going to affect this next at least 7-year business cycle, possibly a little bit longer, but understanding not just understanding what they're doing, but understanding what it means and then what to do about it. That's where the business owners have a shot of becoming something more, because it's about, yes, how you earn your money, but it's also about making sure that you protect your purchasing power and what that means and how to do it. I said all of that to say one thing. What I want to do is I want to leave you with a formula so that it can give you a way to think about your business, so that if for some reason after today, and I'm not there because, hey, you're like, it's 9 a.m. Yeah, but it's September, right? It's 9 a.m. and you're looking. I want to give you a formula that you can use to diagnose what it is you can do to increase your cash flow, and most importantly, take any business to a next level. And I do mean any business. So yes, we tend to focus on short-term rentals. Yes, we focus on real estate strategies. Yes, we like cash flow. Some of you like piles of cash. Great, wonderful. It's just not our thing. We like recurring revenue in all of its forms. So that's where we tend to focus, because that has enabled us to become something different and give in a different way and support. Yet, what I really want to stress is it's a process. Every master was once a disaster, and we all start somewhere. The most important thing is that we get started, and then once we're started, we stay started, because we can always want to start over or stop or feel like we're not ready yet. Well, that's normal, like we talked about earlier this month. I just realized I keep saying earlier this month, and some of you, well, you're like, dude, I missed those. What can I do? If you are one of those individuals who are like, yeah, I would like to pick up some of those other ones, no problem. Just go to cashflowdiary.com/live. That'll give you access to the ones that we did previously. Yay. So that if you want to keep watching them, go through the transcripts, what have you, you can do it. You can also see all of the technical foibles that happened as well, because there were plenty of them, which ultimately resulted in having to get a new computer, which is great. So, because yay. And at the same time, demonstrates a lot of the things that can and do happen in every business: change, disruption, but how to get back on track and stay on focus. So What I've got today is that I know that many of you like it when I break out the iPad, so we're definitely going to do that today. And I'm going to write and make and show you the formula that you can use, like I said, to build any particular business, or when you feel like, okay, what's next for my business? I want to show you a way of thinking through so that you can just know how to read your own tea leaves and figure out what you need to do next for your business. That is the intent. That's the goal. All right, let me make sure that everybody is on the Wi-Fi here, and then I'm going to check the chat to see what in the world is going on. So that it's on the wrong network. Come on, that was there we go. So like I said, I'm gonna check the chat to see what else you guys may have said already or be asking, and then what is it, Janine and Elisa? I'm definitely going to get your questions and pick those up because I want to make sure I get those answered too. All right, let's see what we got. Perfect. Okay. Right here, Janine's question. Let me see if I can copy this for everybody so that you guys can see it as well. All right. So Janine's question says, my husband and I are currently rebuilding our credit. Okay. How do you handle talking to the landlords and then wanting to pull your credit? Oh, got it. I just realized what you're really asking. Did I not cover that? Maybe not. Your credit is irrelevant for the purposes of the short-term rental business. Here's what I mean. When we go out there to the marketplace, we focus on using an entity as the tenant. Now, have there been occasions where the landlord wants to, because we're renting to the entity, have there been occasions where you or me or anyone has done a personal guarantee on behalf of the corporation? Yeah, absolutely. Now, I will tell you, go talk to your attorney how they would want to structure that. But at the end of the day, there are ways to circumnavigate or just get around the credit thing. Your personal credit thing is not a limitation unless you choose to think of it as such. So when it comes to what we're talking about in terms of how to make it work. So it sounds like, Janine, that you possibly have been attending the masterclass that we've been doing. And for those of you, if you want to know what that is, we're almost done with it though. So you have like a couple of days left to be able to grab that information because it's about to come down. But we do still have that available at CashFlowDiary.com/learn live. So that's about to come down here in about 36 hours or so, in fact. But your credit does not and is not a limiting factor when it comes to running a short-term rental business, especially so long as you're in what we call phase 1 and phase 2, before you get to phase 3, which is where you start purchasing the properties instead. So hopefully that makes sense. If not, just type it in the chat and ask it differently or ask some more, and I'll do my best to elaborate on that. All right. Okay, so, and then I'm going to handle this question right here. This is from, sounds like Alicia. And, oh, wow, it spans a couple of blocks and rent. Okay, so rent, I'm gonna have to do this in 2 spots because it's a long question. I like it when you guys have long questions. Occasionally they have really long answers. All right. So just copied it. There we go. So the question is, hi, my name is on. Oh, okay, got it. I'm looking to live where I work. Okay. One of my biggest things is to travel the world. Okay. While staying in different environments. Understood. Without the concerns of rent or, and this is what the second part was, mortgages. Interested in knowing how to do this while incorporating my kids. Oh, got it. This I understand. Okay. So what you're speaking to here is, what I call quality of life, right? Or lifestyle design. I've also heard it called. And here's what I mean by that. Oftentimes, we as humans tend to be working. We work necessarily to live as opposed to designing, our life. We design our life around the work that we do. And I would rather design my work around the life that I want, if that makes sense. And that's what it sounds like you're saying. That's exactly what you are bringing up is exactly why and how I thought through the system that we use when it comes to short-term rentals. So you understand that I started with, single family homes, like most people do. I started wholesaling. I've done the mortgage, I've been the bank, I've done the note brokering, I've done, large apartment buildings as much as 182 units, commercial property, cell phone towers, all manner of forms of cash flow via real estate, lots of them, right? I'm not your construction fix and flip kind of guy. That's just not my thing. But I've done a lot of other of those things. And what it comes down to is it was difficult to be able to create the lifestyle for other people. It was like, cool, we got to a spot, which was kind of neat and put us in a unique position. But it was difficult to transfer the knowledge and the information necessary in order for other people to duplicate it. I say that to say that that's part of what set me to thinking about how can we build a short-term rental business? How can we take this thing that I've been introduced to and turn it into something that more people could use, even when they're busy, because they have kids, because they want to be there, because they're parents like I am. How can we turn that into something to where they no longer have to feel like they choose between either I can go to work and be really, really great there, or I can be the really great parent, or a couple has to choose, well, you stay home, but what happens when that person wants to go back to work, or the couple, the income isn't quite what it needs to be, and somebody feels like they have to start over from the bottom, and like, that's frustrating. So yes, is the answer to your question. That's exactly why the system is designed the way that it is. And it's really hard to describe in like one sentence other than to say the following. What I ask people to consider is take your best year of income, whatever that might be, and just think about that number for a moment, that top line number. And now, although it took you 12 months to do that, now imagine that happening every month. So instead of it taking 12 months, imagine it happening in 30 days. And then, and this is where the super magic sauce comes in, kind of, is just under that. Now imagine having only to work 1 hour a day. So those two ideas, if you can marry those two concepts on the other end, that is where we're focused and why we help individuals build a short-term rental portfolio the way that we do, is because that's ultimately where it comes down to. And if you are a parent or single parent or what have you, now you're in a situation where your income is no longer connected to time, and your, what I like to call your income to time ratio, is quote unquote out of whack, right? If you start trying to measure it dollars per hour, it does not make any sense. So you're just like, okay, got it. Which then gives you the capacity, the ability to, in my case, it was something simple. My oldest daughter, who I assume is still watching, but she may not. Anyway, my oldest daughter, I simply wanted to be able to pick her up after school, like, and have that not be a thing. That was like my initial desire, because one day she got sick at school and it was my weekend to pick her up and all this stuff. And the people I work with gave me all kinds of side eye and shade. And I'm like, yo, it's my kid. Like, why am I feeling this from you for having to pick up my kid because she's sick? All of that led to a desire to figure out ways to generate and earn income that would be, well, that didn't require my physical presence and 100% of my attention every day. And that was all the way back in, oh my God, 03, 04, 03. Anyway, a while ago. So, and you know, now it turns out that real estate was a place where my genius came alive, and it allowed us to build the systems. And now we divide our time between still doing it and showing other people how. And that's ultimately where it comes from. I believe her name was Alicia. So hopefully that answers your question. Maybe it over answers your question. I don't know. Or maybe it caused 12 more points of confusion. Either way, I wanted to make sure that that was there. And then I want to get over, excuse me, I want to get over to the formula, because this formula is paramount to the rest of the stories and things that I could share with you today, that I believe if I had like one last thing to give you that you could constantly use as a reference to figure out what do I need to do next, this would be one of those things. So hopefully that helps in some way, shape, or form. All right. And here we go. Kimberly, how are you? And thank you. Yes, I love that. I've got to figure out, we got to figure this out. Joda, yes, it's the best thing ever. And we will figure it out, though. We will definitely figure it out. So what I want to do now is I want to share with you this formula, because like I said, on the other side of this formula, this is a very same formula that I use when I get stuck on a business or what to do next. And I know that if it works, well, if it helps me, it'll probably help you as well, as soon as I figure out how to switch the screen. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Or no, did I click it? There it is. Got it. And you should see the iPad. Perfect. There it goes. So here it is. And I'm just going to, whoops, wrong thing. 1, 2, 3. So I just going to write it out, and then you can copy it. I'll tell you what it means and then how to use it and interpret it and kind of go from there. All right. Here we go. So here is the formula. Now, this is something that I learned, and now let me tell you where from. His name is Ryan. All right. Ryan D. I'm probably, if Ryan, if you're watching or someone tags you or something, if I spelled it wrong, I'm sorry. Anyway, Ryan Dice, he's over at a company called Digital Marketer. Now, Digital Marketer is about marketing, right? And marketing is completely different than sales, even though maybe you've previously collapsed the two. But all I want to say is marketer.com. What I want to do, though, is that I'm going to take this idea, but I want to use it in a way that helps you to understand how to break it down, to figure out what you can do next when it comes to making your business a little bit better, even if you don't have a business yet. Okay, so that it becomes useful. It is L, and this is the formula. And I know for some of you, I don't like math. Got it. Math equals money. Someone type that in the chat. You'll be all right. All right, you can do this. I believe in you. Right? Math equals money, and that's a good, and it's okay. Math is not going to hurt this time. So L times C times F times M equals GP. This is the formula. We're going to talk about it. Why are we talking about it? We're talking about it because at the beginning of this whole pandemic thing, as it broke, when especially once schools stopped being a thing like that my kids were going to, in person anyway, what happened is my 12-year-old just randomly out of nowhere said, "Hey, Dad, do you mind if I want to start a business, and do you mind if I sell the extra stuff like that's in the garage or extra stuff around the house and all this?" I'm like, "Oh, go ahead." Because yeah, we all need to have a garage sale anyway. And it was her, she wanted to do it. So I'm not going to stop you. And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Just get rid of it, because that would be great. And you can keep the money and whatnot." Now I'm thinking she's 12. What's going to really happen? Well, silly me. I underestimated this one. And really long story short, she actually didn't want a business selling stuff for other people. She wanted her own lip gloss business and stuff. And I had no idea that that was a thing for her. Anyway, she's researched her own formulas. She's created her own product. Yes, now today. And this has now evolved to the point to where she yesterday, like just yesterday, she got 25 orders in one single day. And she's been, fired up for every order. Trust me, every time she gets one, she comes bouncing. It's like, it's great. It's wonderful. But yesterday, literally, she received 50%. Let me see. Before yesterday, she was at like 43 total orders. So yesterday, 25 orders in one day. And I've had the privilege of sitting down and finding out and asking and sharing with her. And ultimately, it's coming down to this exact same formula, which is exactly what inspired me to go, okay, if I had to document something one possible last time, what do I need to document for her so that she can keep her business going and know what to do? And in true cash flow diary fashion, I said, well, that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to focus on telling everybody, hey, this is what's next for your business, because I know that guiding and working with this particular formula has served me well. And if for some reason my 12-year-old, I'm not there, and my 12-year-old needs understanding, some guidance, something, it will have been documented, which is exactly how Cashflow Diary started. It was me trying to document everything that I could do around cash flow so that if my kids needed to know, they would have a resource to go to. And then any of the adults who benefited, they were the test case. They were the validation that, yes, my dad did know what he was talking about, because all of these people did the same thing. And that's what we're going to do today. That's why this formula is important, because this formula, in the same way that I share it with you, can help you with what's next. It's here to also help her, if that makes sense. So that's where this is coming from. And this particular formula has, well, helped me a lot. So I'm going to explain it to you in the same way as if, in a sense, that you were my 12-year-old and I needed you to understand it because of its importance, if that makes sense. So I don't want you to take it anything the wrong way. Just understand that that's what's going through the back of my mind as I talk about this today, because it's just that important to me. All right. So here we go. With that being said, we're going to break it down letter by letter. And when we look at letter by letter, what we've got here is we've got the first letter, letter L. L is very simple. It stands, in this case, for leads. Now, we're going to break each of these down in deeper detail so that you know. Where did my highlighter go? And then C stands for customers. And then we've got F, which is frequency, FREQUNCY. And then M is margin. All right. Here's why this is important, because every business must define what is a lead. See, there's a difference between what is known as a prospect. I didn't want that color. 1 second. 1, 2, 3. There's a difference between a prospect and a lead versus lead. There's a difference between those two. And a prospect, it could, you don't really know. They could be anyone just in the database, so to speak, but you don't really know that they have necessarily an interest in your product, or even which product as you may offer or service line. They don't become a lead until you understand those differences. That qualification, that nuanced difference is what makes the difference. So the question becomes, okay, how do you generate more leads? Not just prospects, but leads, people who are qualified for a particular product and or service that you offer. Then once you do that, what it comes down to is understanding customers. These are the individuals who have actually purchased, right? Actually, like giving you some form of value in terms of currency. And in this particular case, frequency has simply to do with how many times, how many separate sessions, especially if you're running an online business. So there's a difference between sessions. So how many different sessions and or visits did they come to your store? Like how, whoops, no, that's the wrong one. So how many times do you want an average customer to visit, say, over a defined period of time? Like, let's just use 12 months. How many times per year, in this case, is what we were talking about, would they come? And then when it comes down to margin, this is another way of thinking about your average order value and or how much do they spend each time. These are, while it sounds like that none of this has anything to do with what to do next, or especially if you don't have a business yet, stick with me and just understand. It is quite clear to me that when you look at this formula, you just ask yourself, hey, what's missing? What do I need? And if I don't have a business yet, what I need clearly are prospects at the beginning of the thing, which forces me then to consider these 5 questions in this order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why? What? When? Who? And how? Answering these 5 questions in this order will assist you in determining how to acquire even people who might be generally interested. What is it that you're going to do to begin to kick off this process? Why are you in business? What is the good that your business is doing or nonprofit is doing? What is it? How you are improving the quality of someone's life? When do you want it to get started? And who is going to be on the team to assist you with the things you don't know how to do? So you've got to answer those 5 questions in that order. Then what it becomes is once you have that done, you begin to execute, because why are you in business? Maybe it's to increase your personal income is part of it, but that can't be the only reason. It must evolve past that. And when it does, that will lead you to who your prospects or potential prospects might be, so that you can then get more specific with them to qualify them with a lead. For example, maybe what you do is you offer prospects an opportunity to download something for free, which in this case could be an ebook on a relevant topic, like, I don't know, short-term rentals. You get the point. And that's what we're talking about here. Because once they've become a lead and begin to indicate their interest with an action beyond just, randomly passing by the front door of the office or store, you now are on the path and that process has begun. And between lead and customer, there's a lot of there is a lot to learn in turn in helping someone understand your product or service, what it is that you're doing, so that you can become a customer, or so that they can become a customer. What you must remember is that you're in control over the process that they experience. And it is this experience, that's what they are purchasing. They're purchasing this experience. They may have a need, they may have a problem, but this experience you give them along the journey is what makes them a customer. And that is your job to detail, to understand, to be able to dissect, which means you may need to learn how to do that, right? Which gives you an indication for maybe when you look at the formula, you're going, hey, you know what I need is more customers. Cool. Well, you go back one step and ask yourself, what's the experience we're giving those who are leads so that they can become customers? Because that could be where the breakdown is. As you continue through this formula, you can also think of it in stages, because until you successfully completed the stage to the left, that's usually where the problem is. For example, if you have a problem, look to the stage to the left and it'll tell you, oh, okay, got it. If I have enough customers, or if I don't have enough customers, maybe there's a lead generation situation that's going on. And if there's a lead generation situation that's going on, then it takes you back to, okay, who is it that I am serving and where are they, if that makes sense. So once you know where they are, then it gets a little bit clearer what you may need to do, because who knows, maybe you just need to invest some time answering their questions and providing some content. I don't know. You know what it is that your business wants to do. Once the customers are there, maybe you're having challenges in frequency. Maybe things are going well, but you're like, man, I have to keep going to get more customers. That's tiring. And I understand. But this is where you begin to think of other ways to get the same person to come back multiple times. Obviously, popular ways are subscriptions, right? But there are other ways, because individuals, humans, will do something if you give them a reason to do it. Simple as that. It could be something as simple as a coupon. Who knows? My point, though, is frequency is important to understand and to ask your questions about and around, because then it leads to the next actions that you need to take. And then maybe what you're saying is, you know what, when they come, I mean, they're coming back, but they're not really buying a lot. Well, this is where you're going to, if you look at like the fast food industry or something of that nature, they got really good at this one right here by packaging and promoting and getting the person to buy more on every visit. Instead of ordering a cheeseburger and a fry, you order a number one. Think about how you can get the same person on that visit to purchase more, give them a reason to do so, and they will. Asking and understanding all of those questions in concert will give you the information you need to know which lever to pull. And sometimes, most of the time, in fact, what you'll run into is that the lever you need to pull is something you have not yet learned how to do, which will then send you to, like I said before, we won't out earn our personal growth. Being able to search out resources on efficient ways to generate leads, and being able to understand the customer journey and that process, and understanding how an ongoing relationship really results in increased frequency, and how making sure that you completely understand your customer's problem easily increases margin. Because, hey, if I can get all of it done while I'm here, I might as well. But that only occurs when you've done that type of research. So when I think about, or when you think about, hey, what's next? Like, what's next for your business? What's next for any business, or no matter where you might be? This is exactly what you want to do. That's what I do. I ask myself, what are those things? And sometimes when I run into the things that I don't know how to do, that's a hint that I need to go back to question number 4. Who knows how to do this thing? And let me go find that person and see if we can't create a situation in which they would want to be a part of the mission, which over time means your business continues to grow. It continues to build, and it becomes something different. And that is a general way to always, regardless of business, even if you have nothing right now, to examine where you are so that you can get to where you would like to go. All right. So I wanted to make sure that I got that documented. Obviously, right? You guys saw that. And my suspicion is that maybe there was something in there that also assisted you as well. And if not, forgive a dad for wanting to make sure, right? But at the same time, hopefully you found it. Now we have a few minutes left before we are done with these live every day, because I have a group of operators, short-term rental operators, that we want to go and assist and update with some of the changes that are happening in the economy. And we're going to want to make sure that they get the input, the thoughts that are going through my head on what they might want to consider and need to do. If, however, you still want to join for the last bits of our 5-day, we have masterclass, or sorry, our masterclass that's been going on. We're into our bonus sessions right now, which is nice. And it's not too late for you to watch them all. But you in order to get them, you're going to need to go to cashflowdiary.com/learn live. Again, that's cashflowdiary.com/learn live. If that's something that you would like to participate in. All right. Let's see. I see some comments in here. What is this? 1, 2, 3. That's South Carolina. Dante, I like it. He says entrepreneurs breed entrepreneurs. Yeah, apparently so. Because again, it's not like I said, it's been her idea from the beginning. And the fact that in one day she figured out how to increase her order volume by 50%. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. This is a good thing, and let's help you guide and direct so that you don't end up, I was like, wow, that's amazing. So I think that's pretty good, especially since she's been doing it all on her own, researching YouTube. Man, it's been interesting to watch, to say the least. So it's definitely something to behold. And now my youngest daughter is starting to build her own site because she's copying the other sister. It's like, okay, great. And what she said, tie-dye shirts. Apparently that's a thing. And I'm like, okay, I don't know nothing about that, but okay, that's your, hey, she does. She's been researching how to make them and to do her thing. So you just kind of go with it. And that's what I do. Jeremy says math equals money. Yes, that's definitely an important lesson, I think, for more people, hopefully you as well. And then Lorraine, YouTube. Oh, wonderful. Here we go. Let's see what we got. What? Would you rather face a fork in the road or be forced to pick between 3 doors? Oh, 3 doors. That's easy. And just pick the door in the middle. that one was easy. So I was like, wait a minute, what? Yes, I like the fork, because the fork in the road, I know me. I'm going to constantly think about what was on the other path. But for some reason, if I've got a choice between 3, I can just pick one and I'm good. Like I don't really care what was behind the other 2. I don't understand it either. Oh, Dante, one more time. Would you rather be able to record your thoughts? Oh, no, we answered that one. I got it mixed up. Would you rather have pizza rolls or pizza bagels? What's a pizza roll? What's a pizza? I don't know what either of those are. Would you rather never be able? Nope, we did that. Did I get the thing mixed up? Oh, this one is. Would you rather be forced to high five everyone you make eye contact with, or strike up conversations with at least 5 strangers a day? This is so ironic because I'm just going to go straight to the strike up 5 conversations, because this is literally the biggest one of the initial commitments that I made years ago. And I came up with a phrase, 5 yeses a day keeps poverty away. What that meant and means is I would not go to sleep. I forced myself to document, goal, plan, track, like we talked about at the beginning, to document 5 yeses, not just 5 conversations. I had to get 5 people every day to say yes. Yes, I would be interested in finding out more information about what it is that you are doing. And coming to, I'd invite them to a presentation online. I don't really care, but 5 yeses a day is what started. And that was the minimum commitment, because as someone who identifies as an introvert, starting up conversations is not exactly like, can't wait to do that. So that was the minimum commitment I needed to make for myself in order to get myself to do anything. So yeah, that's easy for me to say. Woo, that's easy for me to say right there for sure. So nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say that I appreciate all of you who have shown up this entire time. Again, if you want to get all the previous sessions and all the things that we have talked about, you can just go to cashflowdiary.com cashflowdiary.com/live. Again, cashflowdiary.com/live. For those of you who have decided to get your journey started and you're building your business, let us know, hey, what did you decide to do? Because we've gotten emails and messages literally from all over the globe, hearing about people who've decided to start orphanages in South Africa, and people who are just taking care of their families and doing things in different ways that they never thought they could before, because now they began to pursue cash flow, the stream of cash over the pile of cash. And that makes all the difference. Understanding that is what makes the difference simply speaks to that you can play the game. I know you can play the game. You may not have learned how to yet, but you can. And then once you do, it's about focus, discipline, practice, drill, rehearse, getting those skill sets on your plate and under your belt so that they become yours. Literally assimilating them so that they become a part of you. When that happens, new things occur. And who knows, maybe one day you become that oak tree with thousands of branches that can support more than just your own family tree. Ladies and gentlemen, as I've always said, I definitely appreciate each and every one of you, and glad that you've decided to invest some time here with us and for yourself. I look forward to talking to each of you again sometime in the not too distant future. And if you're on YouTube, it'll be soon, or the Facebook page. But nonetheless, it's been fun talking to you guys today. Oh, hold on. What's this? Oh, got it. It's been fun talking to you guys today, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Until next time.
Sometimes you need to feel the pain and sting of defeat to activate the real passion and purpose that God predestined inside of you.
All day, all night, till midnight almost.
Use it back. Purpose crosses disciplines.
That's the truth.
Purpose is an essential element of you. It is the reason you are on the planet at this particular time in history. Your very existence is wrapped up in the things you are here to fulfill. The more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes. The one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, that you will not regret it. Whatever you choose for a career path, remember the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose.
Grandma's hands played the tambourine so well. Grandma's hands used to issue out a warning. She'd say, Chad, don't you run so fast.